Today I'm going to be talking about dialectical behaviour therapy, specifically on the topic of emotional regulation skills, understanding and labelling our emotions. I'm Dr. Anna Georgiadis, clinical psychologist for the Brent Clinical Psychology Service. So let's specifically think about the different emotions and a little bit more detail of them. So for each emotion, there are prompting events, appraisals, biological changes, expressions and action urges, and after effects. So with anger, the emotion of anger, our prompting events might be having our important goals blocked, or someone we care about being attacked or threatened, a loss of power, status, or respect. And appraisals typically concern shoulds, musts, or saying statements like it's not fair, it mustn't be like this. There are understandable biological changes in the body, such as muscles tensing, clenched fists, feeling hot in the face and the body. Expressions and action urges are wanting to shout, hit, attack, confront. And after effects, this is what happens after you've maybe carried out a particular action in response to aggression. And that would be narrowing of attention, rumination, maybe feeling detached and numb. So let's think about anxiety. Anxiety, the prompting events include maybe having your health, life, well-being threatened, having maybe in a new or unfamiliar situation. Appraisals might be I might die, get hurt, fail, lose something important to me, I'm helpless, or I've lost control. Biological changes include breathlessness, maybe increased heart rate, tensed muscles, feeling nauseated, or having that kind of butterflies feeling in your stomach. The expressions and action urges concerning anxiety relate wanting to flee, avoid, or hide. And after effects include, again, narrowing of attention, being hypervigilant to threat, rumination, anticipating maybe more loss, failure, avoidance, and isolation. Sadness. So prompting events can include loss, bereavement, dashed expectations, separation, rejection, loneliness. Appraisals might be I've lost something important to me, or I've lost someone important to me. You might have a sense of hopelessness, helplessness, and beliefs concerning failure, worthlessness, being weak, vulnerable, maybe inferior. Biological changes. You will physically feel tired, lacking in energy. You will have less sort of experience of pleasure for things you once have experienced pleasure before, feeling tearful and maybe breathless as well. Expressions and action urges. So when someone is feeling the emotion of sadness, there's a tendency to retreat, to avoid, to be inactive. There's moodiness, there's a withdrawal. Posture may be slumped, there'd be frowning, crying. The expression on one's face is one of sadness, kind of maybe misery, maybe emotional pain. And the after effects can be irritability, maybe having a negative outlook on life, maybe blaming or criticizing yourself, ruminating about sad events, poor sleep, appetite disturbance, and also having a negative outlook on the future. Guilt. So prompting events might be when there's a kind of violation of one's moral code, and having a kind of feeling of responsibility for this, that you may have caused some harm to another, being reminded of a wrongdoing that you may have done in the past. And the appraisals might be I'm to blame for my actions, if only I had done something differently. Biological changes might include nervousness, feeling hot or red in the face. And expressions and action urges might be wanting to repair the harm, make amends for any wrongdoing, fix the damage, asking for forgiveness, or trying to change the outcome in some way. And typical after effects include making resolutions to change, changing one's behavior, joining self-help programs, for example. Disgust, another common emotion, and this typically involves feeling an aversion towards something offensive. Disgust can be felt in response to something we perceive with our physical senses, sight, smell, touch, sound, taste, by the actions or appearances of people, and even by ideas. And the appraisals might concern contamination, disapproval, violation of one's moral values. Biological changes include feelings of nausea, aversion to drinking or eating. Expressions and action urges are to destroy or get rid of something, to wash, repel, run, or push away. After effects include the narrowing of attention, being hypervigilant to contamination, ruminating about situations that make you feel disgust. Another emotion, envy. Prompting events might be when someone wants another person's quality, achievement, or possession, or wishes that the other person did not have it. And appraisals might be, I deserve what you have, it's unfair that you have this more than me. Biological changes might be tensing of muscles, feeling hot or red in the face, feeling pleasure when someone fails or loses what they have. Expressions and action urges include this idea of wanting to attack or criticize, to compete or strive, to get what the other person has, to try and make the other person fail or lose. And after effects, again, include narrowing of attention, attending to only to what others have and you don't, ruminating about what you don't have, and maybe not appreciating what you do. Jealousy. Prompting events include an important relationship is threatened or in danger of being lost. A potential competitor pays attention to someone you love. So you might think, I might guard or protect my partner so I don't lose them. Biological changes might be tensing of the muscles, increased heart rate, feeling suspicious of others, rejected, and maybe even having an injured pride. Expression and action urges. So you might have violent behavior or threats toward the person, threatening to take something important away from you, attempting to control the freedom of the person you're afraid of losing. Verbal accusations of disloyalty, unfaithfulness, interrogating the person is also a common one. And after effects include the narrowing of attention, being hypervigilant to threats to your relationship, seeing the worst in others, being mistrustful, becoming isolated and withdrawn. Another emotion, shame. Prompting events might include a negative evaluation of the self and feeling inferior to others. Appraisals are others will reject me, I'm not good enough, beliefs about inferiority, maybe unlovability, defectiveness, badness, or failure. Biological changes might be pain in the pit of the stomach, sense of dread, wanting to shrink down or disappear, wanting to hide or cover the face or body. Expression and action urges might be wanting to avoid or hide from others, withdraw, appeasing, avoiding eye contact, and maybe slump posture. And after effects include thoughts about emotions, avoiding thoughts about emotions, engaging in distracting, impulsive behaviors, self-preoccupation, detachment, numbness, conflict with others, and isolation. Happiness. Happiness will concern gain events or receiving love, liking, or affection. Appraisals such as I've received a wonderful surprise or interpreting joyful events just as they are. And biological changes might be excitement, feeling more physically energetic, contentment, or joy. And expressions and action urges are to keep doing what makes you happy, smiling, sharing positive feelings, connecting with others, and maybe being more communicative. And after effects are having a positive outlook, having a high threshold for worry or irritation, remembering other positive times that you've had in your life, and expecting to feel joyful in the future. And another one, the last one, is love. Prompting events might be when a person gives you something you want, need, or desire. You do the things that person does the things that you admire, value. You might find that person attractive, fun, and good at communication. Appraisals are someone, loves, needs, or appreciates you, or someone's personality is pleasing or attractive. You may feel excited, full of energy, self-confident, warm, trusting, and secure. And your expression and action urges would be to want to spend more time with that person, maybe smiling, making more eye contact, and wanting physical proximity. And after effects, only seeing a person's positive sides, openness, trust, feeling self-confident, and remembering other people that you have loved. Okay, so that's a kind of whistle-stop tour of all of the main emotions that people experience.